Janae and I were on our regular visit to the bookstore to look at some magazines when we started to notice a pattern in black media concerning black women. When a black man is on the cover of a magazine, he is fully dressed and appears in a positive light. But when a black woman is in a magazine, there's a tendency that she's shown in a sexual light.
We asked ourselves, why do we have this portrayal of black women in black media? This is not what we look like on a daily basis, or even ever. We totally felt misrepresented by our media. The media that is supposed to be our voice. It seems like our true voice is being silenced, and instead, it's being replaced by an image that makes money.
So, sex sells, huh? To answer our question of why black women are being portrayed in the black media in a sexual manner, we use the concepts of media literacy.
According to BeMediaLiterate.com, created by Dr. Bobby Eisenstock, media literacy is defined as the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, create, reflect upon, and take action in all forms of communications media.
One of the core concepts of media literacy is that media messages are constructed. In our case, the message is that black women are sexual objects. Throughout history, this message has been repeatedly perpetuated. An example that we found was Sarah Baartman, a South African woman who was captured and sold by Europeans to be put on display as a freak show attraction. Due to her voluptuous figure, she was viewed as a spectacle and was often sexually abused. After her death, her remains were preserved and displayed in a museum in Paris to be seen up until 1985. This was the first of many obscene images of black women throughout our history. This image was created by Europeans and has often been the model that we have adopted for our own media.
BET Networks was sold in 2005 to Viacom, which also owns Comedy Central, VH1, MTV, and Nickelodeon. BET states that its mission is to reflect the attitude and independence of young black youth. The chairman and executive officer and the face of BET Network is Deborah Lee. She answers to Philip Dahlman, the president and CEO of Viacom. King Magazine, the illest men's magazine ever, was founded by Daytwan Thomas, who is also the editor-in-chief. The magazine is owned by Harris Publications, which is in turn ran by Stanley R. Harris. Harris Publications also owns Rifle Power Magazine, XXL Magazine, Juicy Magazine, and Men's Workout Magazine. Vibe Magazine is ran by Vibe Media LLC. Its editor-in-chief is Vice President, Editorial Director Danielle Smith, and Mimi Valdez. These two women answer to Steve Aaron, the CEO of Vibe Media LLC. Essence Magazine, editor-in-chief is Constance White. She answers to President of Essence Communications Incorporated and People in Espanol, Michelle Eubanks. Banks answers to editor-in-chief of Time Inc., Martha Nielsen. Nielsen, in turn, answers to David Guthner, who is the executive vice president and group president of Style and Entertainment. Guthner answers to Laura Lane, the CEO of Time Inc. TV One, where Black Life Unfolds, is a cable network catered towards the African American point of view. The executive president of network operations is Jay Schneider. His boss is CEO and president of TV One, Alfred Lippings. Out of all the previous examples presented, TV One is the only Black media owned and operated by an African American.
Bad bitches at? Where my bad bitches at? Pretty gang make noise, pretty gang make noise, pretty gang act the fuck up, act the fuck up.
Where my bad bitches at? Where my bad bitches at? Rude girl make noise, rude girl make noise, rude.
I am a professional dancer that's versatile in many different dance styles. However, I happen to look like this, which means in the dance industry that I am a video vixen and I am a dancer for rappers and R&B artists and things like that. I'm not necessarily considered a Disney dancer or a commercial dancer, which sucks because I'm trained in those styles and I'm experienced and I'm versatile. But pretty much in this industry, it goes on appearance first, just from my experiences. Appearance and personality opposed to talent and skill. I've danced on tour with Lil Wayne and I've also danced on tour with Trey Songz. So one is a rapper, one is an R&B artist, and my experiences were very different just because of that. Dancing with Wayne, he's a rapper and he's like a gangster rapper, so he has an entourage. His lyrics are totally different than Trey's, not better or worse, just totally different. So I was treated differently. For an example, my very first experience when I got on tour was one of his artists, who shall remain nameless, is like, and excuse my language, but it's like, you, get your ass on this bus. No, that's not my bus, and I'm here to dance. I am not here to be on your bus. So, I mean, things like that, it was just you, I didn't have a name, and just because I look like this doesn't mean I'm about that life. On one hand, it's kind of like, oh, well, someone has to do it, and since I happen to look like this, and I happen to be skilled in this type of dance and this type of movement, and I can handle this lifestyle, it's kind of like, okay, sometimes I have to succumb because I need the check in order to live life and pay my rent and my bills and things. But then on the other hand, like, it's not a positive thing, not all the time, and when it isn't, it feels crazy. I'm not gonna lie, like, you feel crazy doing it, but it's like, what do you do when you have to get by? But I'm not necessarily agreeing to it, but sometimes it sucks because I feel like the enemy.
All of them are like thick, and then all of them were like very sexual, like just open with their sexuality. I wouldn't really think that they had much intellect, or if they would even have personality. I just would thought they're sex objects if I came from different countries.
Growing up in Nigeria, I used to watch a lot of BET and MTV, so our thoughts and our minds was like, oh, American women have like, big asses and they're like crazy. Like if you walk out, it's just like a whole bunch of pretty girls, like the P. Diddy video. But when I came out here, it was like that, so I was kind of disappointed. I was expecting all that, but that's just what we all thought. All of us in Nigeria, we thought all the women in America were just, nah, it's all of them.
But it's like, people have been saying, you need to get a butt, you need a butt, you're not attractive because you don't have a butt. And then now all of a sudden, Nicki Minaj and like all of these other people that are just constantly in the media just promoting, but it's just like, it's more tempting to want to get that surgery.
I think that the media helped in brainwashing me personally, because just watching these videos and watching TV and movies and stuff like that, this is what I see every time. So it's kind of hard for me to differentiate when I see like a real woman as opposed to like the fictional perfect woman. Because I always want that nice, nice butt, perfect, no stomach, pretty fake.
There's also that double standard, like the whole like, you can't talk about us, but we can talk about us because it's like we're us. It's like that whole family thing, like you say something about my sister, it's gonna be on the pop, we're gonna be fighting. But if I say something about my sister, I can say that because it's my sister. Like that's the whole double standard. So it's like that's pretty much how I'm seeing this whole being ready to protest Modern Family, but then won't protest something that's like a black, like our own type of media.
I don't really feel like black media is doing anything different from what mainstream media is doing. I feel like they're one and the same. I think there's just one template to follow, and that's to portray all women to be dressed provocatively. I think it's all kind of that same image. I don't think it's just black people do their media different, or it's one and the same, in my opinion. I don't feel like you're doing anything one different, but I just feel like we naturally expect that. Whether you look at Maxim or King, you're seeing a woman that's butt ass naked. Like regardless, it doesn't really, there's no difference.
I feel like a lot of people think that it's, oh well, just because they feel like they can't do anything to change it. And then sometimes, like, I feel like that sometimes in the industry because I feel like no matter what I do, like, I'm not enough to make a change. Like, if I say, no, I'm not doing it, someone else will. So they're just gonna go ahead and get that girl. And if I say, I'm not wearing that, someone else will wear that for free. And they're just gonna go ahead and keep using that girl and that girl and that girl.